Imagine a world where you had an audience slash fan base of 100 people. And no matter what you did, you couldn't grow that fan base, but you couldn't lose anyone either. No one comes in and no one goes out. You have an audience of 100 people who hear everything that you make, who see every piece of content that you make. They are in this, but the good thing is, those 100 people, they love you. They love what you do. What would you do differently?
Nice.
Would you carry on playing and performing? Would you carry on writing songs? Of course. As a songwriter and as an artist, that's what we do. We love to play, we love to perform, and we love to write. But we would do this in a very different way. You'd start to think differently. You'd certainly start to look after that audience differently, because 100 people, you'd know everyone's names. You'd know who they were. You'd be able to sing them songs individually, write different types of songs. You just look after them in a very different way to the way that you currently look after your audience. As musicians and as creatives, we're greedy. We want to make our art and then we want to put it out to the world. And we want the world to appreciate us. And we want that audience to grow. And we want our experiences to grow as well. For example, when you start playing and you love it and you think, wow, imagine if I could play a gig. And then all of a sudden you get in a band and you start playing the local gigs in the local town, the local city. And then you just think, imagine if instead of playing to my mates, I was playing to people that I didn't know. And then once you've got that, you think, imagine if instead of playing the local clubs, I was playing sports halls. And then it was like, imagine if I could play festivals. And then you get on a festival and it's like, imagine if I could get higher up the slots of a festival. Imagine if all of a sudden I could headline a festival. And when you're headlining festivals, it's I want to play arenas and I want to play stadiums. There's always that next level. So in order to grow, we've got the battle between music and art and marketing. And I hear people say it should 100% just be about the music. That's what it should always be about. Well, great. But if that's the case, then you don't need the audience. You don't need the adoration. You can do what you want. You can just make great music, leave it on your hard drive, or put it anywhere you like. You could just put it on MySpace, because who cares? You don't need any kind of growth, because all you're thinking of is 100% just the music. The problem is we want growth because we're creators. We want to create something, which means it builds. And if we're builders and creators, that means it grows. And that is where the promotion comes in. The issue is we're always trying to find new people to listen to our music instead of looking at the people we've already got. And once we've got them in the pen and we're growing them, our job is to go and find new people. But while we're doing that, we're going to sell to them. I have literally started to see bands and artists using ClickFunnels websites to upsell to their fans. ClickFunnels websites are salesy. They are a specific type of website designed to sell, which feels like I'm going into a used car dealer and then getting upsold. It feels like I'm going to a website to go and check out some pictures and some music and some stories about a band, and all of a sudden I'm being upsold on a t-shirt or some kind of hoodie. Now don't get me wrong, I'm all for monetizing our art and I'm all for selling merch and I'm all for selling loads of great products. It's the way that we do that, and trying to trick people into some kind of landing page which is set up specifically so that we can sell to them. I mean, that just feels a little bit dirty to me. It doesn't feel like we're looking after fans and giving them options. To me, that is not the way to treat a fan. A fan, not a customer, a fan. Someone has heard your music, seen you, and bought into it so much that they've now become a fan. That's amazing. And if you don't have a fan right now, then a bit of patience, carrying on doing what you're doing, carrying on improving and releasing music, and it's only a matter of time before you do start to get a fan. And when you get that fan, your job is to look after them like they've never been looked after, so they do the work for you. But if you're trying to funnel audience members into buying things, they're never going to make that jump from audience to fan. Do you know something even more crazy is the amount of artists that say, oh yeah, no, don't contact those fans because they're like the super fans. They're a bit weird and crazy. They've gone a bit far. They've gone a bit stalkery. Are you absolutely crazy? You've made someone into such a massive fan that they're all a bit stalkery, and you've put them into a box and gone, weird. I mean, that is what we're doing this for. We are trying to get people into fan base, into fandom, into being super fans, because that isn't then us trying to prize money out of them. That is where we do the opposite. That's where we say, this is what we are going to do, and they will jump in instead of us having to force them in. Nowadays, we don't need to buy the music. The music is everywhere. But if we do buy the music, it's because it's a statement. We've made a statement saying, this represents me. This music is a statement, and I am a part of that statement. I'm a part of that tribe. And more importantly, I want everyone else to know that. So an example is people don't buy CDs. But imagine this. Imagine if you did make a CD, but instead of a CD case, it was a leather case. And on that leather case, on the front of it was an embossed logo of your band. And when you opened it up, there was a personalized message, individually handwritten from you to them using their name. And then there was a CD. And on that CD, there were 5 new tracks. 5 tracks, whether they were live tracks, whether they were new tracks, but songs that you just said, this is not on Spotify, it's not anywhere else. This is going on that CD. Now that is the sweet spot between the art and the marketing. That's right in that central point where you are now making the art, which is the marketing. Think about how you're looking after someone by doing that, giving them the option to buy something really special and meaningful to them. But at the same point, think of how much marketing that you can get out of that. Think of how many stories, think of how many feeds, think of how many pictures, think of all the audio, think of the videos that you can make from something which is both art and marketing. So let's go back to the beginning. You've got your 100 fans, but those 100 fans, they're not going to grow, they're not going to leave you. So how are you going to act? You are going to look after those fans like they've never been looked after, personally, by name, every single day. You are going to create the greatest club in the entire world, all based around you and your music. But the reality is, if you did that for real, you would grow exponentially, because there would be a queue of people so desperate to get into that club because it's only 100 people and you are looking after them better than anyone else could ever look after them. If you truly want to grow your audience, your job is to look after the audience that you've got, because if you do that properly, those people will do all of the work for you. They will grow you faster than anything that you can do via advertising or marketing outside of the art. Your job is to go and find the audience and turn them into fans, as opposed to looking for more people who are going to come into your numbers. So here's something I want you to go and do today. I want you to think about your audience right now, and I want you to go and think about one person in that audience, and I want you to go and touch base. I want you to go and do something special. Pick up a guitar, go and message them on Instagram and say, hey, I wrote a song, this is for you. Or I played this cover, or I played one of my songs, and here it is, just for you. And you could even put a little message into it. Go and do that today and see what happens, because I guarantee they will not only come back and say thank you, they will be over the moon enough to post that across all of their social media. Go and try it. So guys, I have a favor. We are so close to 100K. We're like 94,000K, and I want to get to 100K in the next couple of weeks. So if you can do me a favor, if you can hit that subscribe button, because I know that 65% of you watching don't subscribe. So do us a favor, hit the like, hit that subscribe button, and then we're gonna have a gold play button or whatever it is right at the back of this. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.